Welcome to the van installation video. Van application has unique challenges because vans are large vehicles with corrugations and combined structures that often need graphics applied to them. This means there's a lot to consider when preparing for a successful wrap. Here we will show you the steps and techniques to take on any van. Are you ready to start? Okay, let's go. You'll often be applying to more than one panel, as is the case here. So first, you need to decide if you apply the film vertically or horizontally. Whether you choose to apply the film horizontally or vertically will depend on several factors, like how many natural separators there are on the vehicle, the pattern of the design, the size of the panels on the van, and the width of the film you have. So for this video, we have decided to apply vertically. For a vertical alignment, we always wrap vans starting from the back. This means film overlaps will have edges facing backwards, so wind and rain passes over them, not against them. If you are doing a horizontal overlap, you would start from the bottom, so the top piece overlaps the base piece. This makes it easy for rain to roll down over them. For this van, let's describe what we see, so we can know which techniques to use. Here we see the flat surfaces and the corrugation. We call flat surfaces like this 1D. This is a 2D area because while applying the film, we can follow the contour without creating a gap or a bridge. This is a 3D area because the film cannot be applied following the contour, but instead must be pressed into the area. Here's a single 3D corrugation, and here we see a double 3D corrugation. Both of these will need the 3D corrugation technique. Here by the wheel arches, we will also use the 3D technique. Sometimes different techniques can be valid for the same areas. For example, in this area, we'll be using a 2D technique by following the contour of the panel without increasing the tension in the film. However, we could have also used a 3D technique, creating a bridge over the area and pushing in the film. Alright, now that we've studied the van and know which techniques we will be applying, let's go through the key points of van application. Naturally, before any application starts, you need to have planned the project, removed the badges and handles, and prepared the surface. After cutting your material to size, position it using magnets. Then create a hinge and proceed to use the flat application technique over the flat areas. When applying to the 1D sections, remember to leave sufficient material bridged over the corrugations. If you don't, you'll create too much tension when pushing in on the material during the 3D technique, which is what you'll be doing next. You can learn all about these techniques in our videos on 3D corrugation application and flat application here in the Avery Dennison Wrap Centre. Finish the rest of the first panel using the 1D, 2D and 3D techniques before applying the second panel. When aligning this second panel, use tape to hold it into place. On the second panel, you will use the same techniques as you used on the first panel. Once finished with both, it's time to cut. Using a fresh blade on your knife, trim all the edges according to the technique shown in our cutting techniques video. Be careful to look for rubber seals at the edges of the van panels. Always cut above or below the rubber and do not cover it with film. With both pieces of film now complete, we use the heat gun at 95 degrees Celsius to lock the material into position. Please give sufficient time and effort to correctly post heat in corrugations and all the areas where you've stretched the film. This will help avoid material popping up and customer complaints. While all these steps are obligatory, their order may vary depending on the complexity of the graphics. Knowing when and how to change this order requires the type of expert knowledge that we share in our training courses. It is now time to apply the logo or the graphic. Let's assume the logo has already been plotted. The transfer tape has been applied and you've degreased the flat surface where you'll be applying the logo. Now you'll need to find the right position using a measuring tape. Use magnets to hold the logo in its final position. Next, we will need to create a hinge. This will allow us to apply the first section of the graphic. For this, we will use our flat application squeegee technique again. Squeegee while pulling away the backing paper. Finish squeegeeing the rest of the logo. And now we need to remove the application tape. To do this right, don't pull up and away from the logo, Instead, pull at an angle closer to the parallel of the panel, as you see here, carefully avoiding lifting the letters when removing. Voila! On the back doors where the logo will be split, you will need to run your blade along the edge of the door, using your squeegee to fix it into place. Remember to remove the application tape, pulling at the proper acute angle. Finally, recheck the logo, reapplying pressure where needed. With the right techniques, you can take on any make and model of vehicle. Let's review the steps. Analyse the van as part of your preparation, making sure the design fits the van. If you need more than one piece of material, start either from the back or the base. Master your corrugation techniques. Use a heat gun at 95 degrees to lock the material in place. These are the essential techniques our Academy trainers can help you learn and master. Thanks for watching.